Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment, and that is right, I am finally back for some picks and predictions, some weekly picks and predictions. The last week I did was week 8, so forget about my overall record. We're going to throw it out of the window because at this point it ain't even irrelevant. But for guarantees, I'm still 23, 14, and 2, so you're still making money with me. Let's make money again, but let's start with our straight up picks, and then we'll get to my against the spread guarantee picks of the week. So with that said, let's start with the Thursday night football game, a pretty big game indeed, as we have an NFC clash between the New Orleans Saints and the Dallas Cowboys in Jerry World, Arlington, Texas. Who will come out with this one as Sean Payton returns to Dallas, and I think Sean Payton gets it done. Yes, the Cowboys are looking better. Okay, they are winners of their last 3 games. They've been looking better lately, I will grant you that. But these are the New Orleans Saints, who for my money are the best team in the NFL right now, and most certainly the hottest team in the NFL right now. They have not lost a game since week 1, people. They're 10-1. They've won 10 straight games. They're so hot. They're so dynamic offensively, and they're going to have no problems going to Dallas and winning. It's not a very hostile environment. In fact, you pretty much chillax as you go play in Dallas. And yes, Dallas has been good at home this year, except for their loss to the Tennessee Titans. I just think the Saints right now are just way too hot. I can't pick against them, and I think if you do, you are insane. The next game, the Denver Broncos, they're traveling to Cincinnati. They're taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. Andy Dalton is out for this game, and yes, Andy Dalton is not great. He wasn't having his greatest year, but without him, the Bengals, I just cannot see them winning this game. Whereas the Denver Broncos, they're looking better lately. They're looking alive. Okay, they've won the past couple games. They looked pretty good last week in Denver. They've had their struggles on the road this season, but again, Bengals without Andy Dalton and AJ Green, he's still banged up. He may not play either. I just can't pick the Bengals to win this game. They're struggling. It looks like the end is finally coming for Marvin Lewis and the Marvin Lewis era in Cincinnati. Give it the Broncos to go to Cincinnati and win it. Arizona Cardinals, they're traveling to Green Bay, taking on the Green Bay Packers. The Packers are still holding on for dear life, although their season is pretty much over at this point. I think they will resurrect temporarily this week against the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals are still not very good. I told you in my mid-season predictions I did not have them winning another game this season and securing the number 1 or number 2 overall pick. I'm sticking by this, so give me the Green Bay Packers to win this game in Green Bay. You have the LA Rams. They're traveling to Detroit. They're taking on the Detroit Lions, and the Lions are just one of those teams that, man, they're just so mediocre, but they're also inconsistent. They're so inconsistent. They were able to beat Carolina in Detroit. They were able to beat New England in Detroit, and now they're facing LA in Detroit. And now LA is definitely better than New England and Carolina, but the fact that Detroit has brought some people in and lulled them to sleep, that does give me some confidence. Now, they also lost to Chase Daniel in Detroit, so don't get me wrong. I mean, they're able to lose in Detroit teams that they shouldn't, but they seem to overperform against the good teams this year. So you know what? I'm going to pick the Rams to win, but I think it's going to be closer than a lot of people are expecting. Right now, the Rams winning 35-32, and we're going to talk about that spread in my guarantees. Next game, we have the Carolina Panthers. They're traveling to Tampa Bay, taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Buccaneers had a good win last week as their quarterback carousel, their quarterback roller coaster continued. Jameis Winston actually looked good, so you know what that means. He's going to look bad this week. That's the way it goes in Tampa Bay. Okay, the minute you believe, or you start to believe that, okay, we have this quarterback in, he's doing okay, and then he'll fall flat the very next week. This is the way the 2018-19 season has gone for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And we know the Carolina Panthers over the last 5 years have owned the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I expect that to continue, giving the Panthers to go on the road and win this game. They know they need this game before they fall out of the playoff race, so I know they will get it. The next game, the Indianapolis Colts at the Jacksonville Jaguars. And wow, as a Tennessee Titan fan, this will be the first time this season I'll be rooting for the Jacksonville Jaguars. When I made my midseason predictions, I thought, okay, I think the Jaguars will get it together a little bit. They'll salvage their season. They'll go 6-10. I don't think so anymore after last week, man. They stink. Losers now of how many games in a row? I've lost count, 7 straight games in a row. This is getting ridiculous in Jacksonville. And finally, they benched my boy, Blake Bortles. He stinks. They benched him, and they're starting Cody Kessler. Will that be enough? I hope so, but I can't pick it right now. The Colts are way too hot. Andrew Luck is looking like an MVP candidate, although I don't think you can vote for him. I don't buy that. I think you got to give it to Drew Brees or Mahomes or Goff before you give it to Luck, because they just have way too many wins wins, way too many wins, but that's just me. But Andrew Luck, I put him fourth right now. He's playing fantastic. Give me the Colts to go to Jacksonville and get the victory here. Next game, Baltimore Ravens. They're traveling to Atlanta, taking on the Atlanta Falcons and Lamar Jackson. He's 2-0 as the starting quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens. Am I buying into this? Now, I told you in my Lamar Jackson scouting report, and I'll tell you again. When you're running Lamar Jackson, he's very dangerous, and you can win games with him. My problem is, how long can you keep this up? Because if you cut his legs off, he just can't do enough, right? He had 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions last week passing. He has not been particularly impressive passing, and I don't think he'll ever be. Again, Michael Vick keeps telling you that every week. They keep talking to Michael Vick about Lamar Jackson. If you cut off his legs, he's not an NFL quarterback. That's really what I believe, at least not a starting one. But he's going to continue to run it. And he's going to continue to run it against this Atlanta Falcons defense, which this year has struggled. Man, this Falcons defense has been very bad. Now, I hope the Falcons can win this game for me, as I do have the Falcons, as I do have the Titans, or I want the Titans to make the wild card, and I really need the Falcons to win this game in order for that to happen. But I still think, even though I have my reservations about Lamar Jackson moving forward in his career, I do think he's going to continue to win games until defenses figure him out. Give me the Ravens to go to Atlanta and get the victory here. Next game, Chicago Bears. They're traveling to New York, taking on the New York Football Giants. And for the Chicago Bears, Chase Daniel is looking like he'll start. And this game for me is completely dependent on him. Okay, so we're going to have an asterisk next to this game. If Chase Daniel starts, give me the Giants, because I do believe the Giants will be good enough in New York to beat Chicago with Chase Daniel at the helm. If Trubisky starts, give me the Bears, because the Bears are still better than the Giants, especially with Trubisky starting. But I do believe this is an asterisk game. I do believe it does depend on the quarterback situation, so that's my prediction there. Next game, Buffalo Bills. They are having the courtesy of traveling to Miami, taking on the Miami Dolphins. Ryan Tannehill came back last week and looked good until he was finally asked to win the game for us, and he couldn't do it. Okay, and thus continues the story of Ryan Tannehill in the Miami Dolphins jersey. However, he's coming back to Miami this week. They're facing Buffalo, who won last week, okay, admittedly, but Josh Allen only completed 8 passes. They had the funkiest passing game you'll ever see. This guy will only complete 4, 5, 8 balls, and they'll win somehow, or most likely they'll lose, and I have them losing this week in Miami because they still can't move the ball consistently. Their defense is too inconsistent for me. Sean McDermott is winning some games. Okay, that's cute. They're not going to win this one to me in Miami. Give me the Dolphins to win this game at home. Cleveland Browns, they're traveling to Houston, taking on the Houston Texans. All right, I'm the biggest Cleveland Browns fan this week. Please take down the Houston Texans for me, although at this point it really doesn't matter because the Texans appear far and away to be the best team in the AFC South, and the Titans have virtually no chance to win the division, but I'd like to see it anyway, and I think they will compete. I think they will definitely compete. They've won 2 straight games. Baker Mayfield is doing his thing. He's talking trash about Hugh Jackson, and I'm here for it. But I got to go with the Texans to win this game and continue their winning streak, moving from 8 wins in a row to 9 wins in a row. Man, I just can't pick against them right now, especially not against this team. We'll talk about next week and the weeks to come. But I guess the Browns at home in Houston, yeah, they'll probably get it done. Next game, we have the New York Jets. They're traveling to Tennessee, taking on the Tennessee Titans. And I hope you're ready, Titans fans, because this is where we get our hope and our confidence back into us. Okay, we're going to win this game to me convincingly. The Jets are not very good. I'm expecting Josh McCown to start again, and he used to have some magic, but it's all used up at this point. There's no more McCown magic. The Jets are not better than Tennessee Titans, and the Tennessee Titans at home have performed well for the most part. Okay, we've had our couple of clunkers, especially against the Baltimore Ravens. Jates is 21-0, but this is a game that to me will win. We'll bounce back. We'll win next week. We may win the week after that. Hope comes back, and then it comes crashing down. But for now, okay, we get it done. To me, 27-13. I really like us this week. Next game, Kansas City Chiefs at the Oakland Raiders. Man, do the Raiders stink. Okay, and they continue to get worse as they traded away Amari Cooper. Last time I talked to you, like, that wasn't true. And, you know, they just can't do anything offensively and defensively, and everyone's just giving up. It's so ugly. And the Chiefs are coming to town after a bye week. They're going to be recharged, going to be ready to go, and they're going to win this game in Oakland easily to me. Next game, we have the San Francisco 49ers. They're traveling to Seattle, taking on the Seattle Seahawks. So we have some NFC West divisional play. Remember the days? We had the 49ers versus the Seahawks. We had Colin Kaepernick versus Russell Wilson. We had Jim Harbaugh versus Pete Carroll. One of these teams is still treading even, or at least a little down, but for the most part still good. And the other team is not, as the 49ers will, to me, most likely receive the #1 overall pick. Actually, I'll say most likely #2. I think they will be better than the Cardinals when it's all said and done. However, for this game, it is in Seattle, and Seattle's still vying for a playoff spot I do believe they will get. You know, go back and watch my mid-season predictions if you haven't already. I have the Seahawks making the playoffs, and I did not even have them winning last week, and they got it done. So I definitely have them winning this week in Seattle, giving the Seahawks to win this game pretty easily. Next game, we have the Minnesota Vikings. They're traveling to New England, taking on the New England Patriots. My Vikings are still alive, and by my Vikings, I mean my Super Bowl pick, although I ain't sticking with it. It was my preseason pick, not my midseason, but my preseason pick. I'd love for them to win this game and keep that hope, keep that dream alive. But I can't do it, man. The New England Patriots are back in New England. They're back in Foxborough. They're planning. They're scheming. They faced New York last week, so it only took like a 1 or 2 hour flight. Now they're back in New England scheming and planning for this team. And I do believe it's going to be very close. But ultimately, I do have the Patriots getting it done. Next game, we have the LA Chargers. Ooh, the LA Chargers, they're traveling to Pittsburgh, taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And at last, I have a surprising pick for you all, as I have the LA Chargers upsetting, getting it done, going to Pittsburgh and getting the W here. Although it appeared as if the Steelers had turned the corner, last week was a little concerning for me. Now, yes, it was on the road against Denver, a game in which the Chargers also lost, by the way. Okay, so there's some credence there. But this, to me, is a classic game where, honestly, I do believe the Chargers have played better than the Steelers all season. Phillip Rivers is not afraid to go on the road in Pittsburgh and win. Now, I'm not sure what his record is up there, but I'm talking about being a veteran quarterback, a guy that's been around the block. I know he's not afraid of Pittsburgh. They have Joey Bosa's back, and he's already playing really well, the LA Chargers do. I think this is an upset. I think they get it done on Sunday night on the big stage. They win this game. Even without Melvin Gordon, I have the Chargers winning this game in Pittsburgh. And then finally, the Monday Night Football game, as they have the Washington Redskins. They're tied in Philadelphia, taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. So, okay, there's a big game. A lot of NFC East implications here. The Eagles came back last week to keep their season alive against the Giants in Philly. Now they're remaining in Philly. Now the Eagles are proving that they're just not good enough to go all the way and actually win the NFC East to me this year, unless they wake up, which they still could. I just don't see it. However, they're facing Colt McCoy, who I did have faith in. Admittedly, in my midseason predictions, I did say I saw the Redskins winning that division, but man, Colt McCoy did not look good on Thanksgiving. I think he'll look better here, but I have to go with the Eagles win because they're just so hard to beat in Philadelphia. We've seen that this year, even as they have struggled, giving the Eagles to win this game in Philadelphia. So with that said, we move on to my guarantees of the week. These are my betting picks of the week again. We are 23-14-2. That is 9 games up this year. My goodness, if you've been betting $1,000 on all my picks, you're up $9,000 at this point. This is ridiculous. Let's continue. Let's start with the Colts -4. They're going to get it done to me in Jacksonville against Cody Kessler. Now, again, I hope I'm wrong on this. I hope Cody Kessler is the GOAT that the Jacksonville Jaguars have been hoping for. You know, that he's able to stride in, okay, on horseback and save this franchise and save this season for the most part. I mean, they're already done. They're 3-8, but maybe can lead them on a run or something. I don't know. But I don't see it, right? The Colts are just way too hot, man. -4, you got to take these -4 points. I have them winning by more than 7 at least, so give me the Colts to win this game. I have the Ravens +1. Okay, now this one I'm probably the least certain of, but I'm pretty sure about it, okay? Again, I like Lamar Jackson right now. The Falcons defense has been bad all year. I think he's going to run all over this defense, make plays consistently. He ain't injured yet, although I think he will be the way he's been running. He ain't injured yet. He's going to continue to cause problems, continue to cause troubles. John Harbaugh is coaching for his job. The Ravens get it done in Atlanta to me, so give me the 1 point. I will take it all day. Even the Cleveland Browns +6. Okay, I do believe they go to Houston and they do compete. Houston is coming off of a Monday Night Football game, a great victory against a divisional opponent, the Tennessee Titans, a very emotionally drawing victory, right? As they lost their owner, Bob McNair, a couple of days before that. You know, it was a divisional opponent, right? They're going to come and they're going to say Cleveland, and they're going to say, oh, okay, let's sleep for a little bit, and the Browns are going to sneak up on them. So give me the Browns +6. Give me the Lions +10. I love this +10 figure. Again, the Lions have shown an ability to compete against playoff caliber teams in Detroit this season, for the most part. I know the Chase Daniel, mishap was ridiculous. Like, I will give you that. But other than that, they showed an ability to at least stick close to these teams in Detroit, so give me the Lions +10. And then finally, the Cleveland Browns at the Houston Texans. The over-under right now is 45, and I think we go over, okay? Because we have the Deshaun Watson that's been putting up points this season, and the Texans offense is looking better and better. And same goes for the Browns offense, right? They've been putting up points. It's been looking better and better for their front. And the defenses, although they started the season strong, and they're still okay, they're not to the point where, to me, they're going to stop both of these teams from combining for less than 45 points. So give me over 45 for the Houston Texans and Cleveland Browns football game. And with that said, those are my NFL Week 13 picks and predictions. What are your picks? What are your predictions? Comment down below. I want to know. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and most importantly, to subscribe. And until next time, this has been MJ of Sports Fan Entertainment, and I'm out. See you all later.